Namaste, welcome to Zeel's Astrology, your go-to channel for all things Vedic astrology. Now, Mercury will go retrograde in the sign of Scorpio starting November 26th and will turn direct again on December 16. This retrograde period will last for about 20 days. After that, Mercury will enter Sagittarius on January 4, 2025. Now, let's dive into what Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio along with current planetary positions could mean for all of us. But before that, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and click the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. You can also follow me now on Instagram for more insights. And if you would like to book a personal consultation with me, feel free to email me. You will find all the links in the description box below. As I have explained in one of my earlier videos, retrograde simply means vakri, something that is crooked. Retrogression does not literally mean that the planet goes backwards. The planet behaves a bit differently than usual. Its speed slows down significantly, and this intensifies its effect, which can be either positive or negative depending on your personal chart and the current transits affecting you. I have also explained before that this time Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio is particularly intense because Scorpio itself is heavily impacted by the ongoing planetary chaos. Right now, Scorpio is aspected by Saturn retrograde Jupiter and Rahu. On top of that, Scorpio's ruling planet Mars is debilitated in the sign of Cancer, which adds to the challenges. And Mars will also go retrograde on December starting, so things will be more challenging. With Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio, there are several key influences to watch out for. Firstly, this transit might make your communication more sharp or sarcastic. It could also stir feelings of jealousy, obsession, and even vengeful tendencies. These negative traits are likely to become even stronger after Mars turns retrograde on December 7. Why? Because Mars, already debilitated in Cancer, will have its retrograde energy amplified, intensifying confusion and emotional outburst. Many people may use unethical means to fulfill their desires. During this period, you might find it harder to think clearly, which could lead to impulsive decisions driven by emotions like jealousy or revenge. Unfortunately, such decisions often don't work out well in the long run. But it's not all negative. There are some positive factors to balance out Mercury's retrograde energy. Sun is there to guide this Mercury to balance its energies as it is in conjunction with Mercury until December 15. Apart from that, Jupiter is aspecting the sign of Scorpio and Mercury. So these two factors, these two planets can act as a guiding force for Retro-Mercury and the sign of Scorpio. Wherever Scorpio is positioned in your chart, you may notice some emotional turbulence in that area of life. However, the combined blessings of Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn can offer a sense of guidance and support during this period. It's not an ideal time to invest in speculative markets or cryptocurrencies, as this period is likely to bring significant fluctuations and instability. In fact, we have already started noticing these influences on the markets. It's advisable to adopt a cautious approach and prioritize long-term strategies over impulsive or high-risk investments during this time. Additionally, Mercury will transit through Jyeshtha Nakshatra, its own nakshatra, and later on move to Anuradha Nakshatra on December 9, remaining there until December 24. While Mercury is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, some of the negative emotions like jealousy, obsession could feel more pronounced. But once Mercury enters Anuradha, the energy shifts under Saturn's influence, bringing more stability and a chance to channel emotions in a constructive way. So basically, for those who are mindful and aware of their surroundings and their actions, this Mercury retrograde will have a less intense impact. If you are conscious of your decisions and their consequences, You will likely navigate this period more smoothly. However, there are certain groups who might feel the effects more strongly, and these includes those with weak moon in their chart, people with Scorpio, Virgo, or Gemini ascendants or moon sign, individuals running through Mahadasha, Antardasha of Moon, Mars, or Mercury, those with afflicted Moon, Mercury, or Mars, or conjunctions like Moon Ketu, Moon Mars, Moon Mercury, or Mercury Ketu, those who have retrograde Mercury or Mercury in their first house, especially for Scorpio ascendants. And as I mentioned in my earlier video on Mercury's transit through Scorpio, this retrograde phase is likely to create a sense of illusion. Many people might believe that the decisions they are making or the actions they have already taken are absolutely correct. However, these decisions are rooted in, if these decisions are rooted in negative emotions like jealousy, revenge, or obsession, they might backfire over a time and create long-term challenges. That's why it's crucial to stay mindful during this transit. Reflect on your choices and ensure they are based on reason and clarity and not impulsive feelings. When Mercury enters Anuradha Nakshatra, things may become more manageable due to Saturn's influence. The impact of Mercury retrograde will be very prominent this time. Many major decisions taken by the government may have to be reconsidered. Even retrograde Mercury will make you redo certain tasks or certain things, and which can make you work harder on certain aspects of life or wherever the sign of Scorpio falls in your chart. Wherever Scorpio sign falls in your chart, that part will definitely see some major changes. However, you may find yourself needing to revise, redo, or even reselect the subjects of or the areas you have chosen to study. This isn't necessarily a setback. It's a chance to align your efforts with what truly resonates. In fact, the energy of reconsideration applies to many areas of life. Sun in Scorpio will provide the motivation and strength to Mercury, encouraging you to work harder and refine your approach. Sometimes giving a second chance or second thought or reconsidering certain aspects of life can lead to better outcomes. If you feel compelled to revisit decisions, take a moment to reflect on why. There's often a deeper reason prompting this reevaluation and understanding. Understanding it can help you make more informed and thoughtful choices. In the remedial part, for deeper insight and a shift towards positivity, read Bhagavad Gita, especially the detailed meaning of the Sanskrit shlokas. These explanations can help you channel your mindset towards positive and uplifting thoughts. You can also chant Vishnu Sahasranam or Narayan Kavach, as both are incredibly powerful for bringing balance of mind. Alternatively, reciting Hanuman Chalisa or Hanuman Sahasranam can also be beneficial. Aries ascendant. For Aries natives, Mercury is going retrograde in your 8th house. This is not a favorable time for investments in stock market or cryptocurrencies or any speculative ventures. Retrograde Mercury in the 8th house tends to create fluctuations. In fact, this time, this retrograde Mercury can cause much fluctuation in speculative markets. So try to avoid any thoughtless investments in speculative markets. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio can make your speech sharp or sarcastic. So be mindful of how you communicate. Aim to be humble and considerate in your interactions, as this will prevent misunderstandings or conflicts. This transit can amplify feelings of jealousy, revenge, or even negative desires, especially if your chart has certain negative planetary combinations. It's essential to stay conscious of your emotions and redirect your energy positively. There may also be potential disputes or issues with in-laws or younger siblings, so try to maintain harmony in these relationships. It's also a good time to seek and learn new knowledge, but there will be a redo or revision or reconsideration of it as well. It's just that you need to keep yourself motivated to do that new learning. On a positive note, this period is excellent for those involved in astrology, occult sciences, research, or investigative fields. Retrograde phase can help you dive deeply into these areas, uncovering hidden insights and knowledge. And also be very careful with your health issues, because Mercury, being 6th Lord, retrograde in your 8th house, is not considered good for health related concerns. Taurus Ascendant. For Taurus natives, Mercury is transiting your 7th house and will be going retrograde in the same house. Now, this period can bring opportunities for business growth, but you must exercise caution while making decisions. Retrograde Mercury in the 7th house can create confusion, leading to sudden or impulsive choices. If you are planning to start a new venture, ensure that you are thorough in your analysis, calculations, and objectives. You might have to redo documentation work or any matters related to business. This period demands hard work and a very careful consideration, particularly when investing or initiating new projects or making major decisions in existing businesses. However, sometimes if it goes positive, these impulsive decisions actually act as positive in future in the long term, but that depends on your personal chart. Communication plays a crucial role here during this transit, so be wise and humble in your interactions, whether with clients, colleagues, or family. Your public image can be directly impacted by how you present yourself. Be very careful in your marital relationships as well, because as of now, Mercury in your 7th house and also Sun transiting your 7th house, this can create ego issues and misunderstandings with your spouse. Your speech will play a major role here in maintaining your relationships. This period will also make you more sarcastic and harsh in your communication with your life partner, which can negatively affect your marriage. So be very humble in your speech and try to consider the feelings and the thoughts of your spouse, which will help you maintain a smooth relationship. Gemini Ascendants. For Gemini natives, Mercury is going retrograde in your 6th house, which governs disputes, competition, and daily work life. This is a period where you need to exercise caution with your speech. Retrograde Mercury, especially in 6th house, can bring aggression, sarcasm, and ego in your communication style, which might escalate disputes. It's important to avoid being overly argumentative, as this tendency could create friction, particularly in your career or home environment, because Retro Mercury in 6th house is very argumentative. Until mid-December, Sun will be in conjunction with Mercury in your 6th house. This alignment will help reveal the true intentions of those around you, distinguishing your well-wishers from others. Pay close attention and remain observant during this time. If you are considering taking a loan for any reason, you might encounter hurdles during this period. For example, you may need to redo paperwork or address unexpected delays or deal with challenges in procuring the loan smoothly. Since Mercury governs both your 4th house and 1st house, so if you are considering purchasing a property, you might face challenges such as redoing documentation or encountering unexpected hurdles. However, it's not at all advisable to make property-related purchases during this phase, as all the planetary positions are not proper. Additionally, avoid making any hasty or blind decisions. Instead, take time to think things through patiently and wisely to avoid complications later on. This period calls for extra caution and meticulous planning in all your initiatives. Avoid unnecessary disputes, especially with neighbors, as minor issues could escalate during this period. On a brighter side, this transit is favorable for professionals in law, litigation, or any career that requires analytical thinking and problem solving. Cancer Ascendants. For Cancer natives, Mercury is going retrograde in your 5th house. This house is connected to knowledge, education, creativity, and children. While Mercury in the 5th house is generally supportive of learning, the retrograde phase adds some challenges. You might need to revisit or revise your studies or work extra hard to master certain concepts. For students, this can be beneficial as repeated efforts and revisions will make them more thorough in your studies. It's also an excellent time for mantra chanting and diving deep into spirituality. Not a good time to invest heavily in speculative markets. And if your children are planning to go abroad or take up new ventures, there could be some delays or a need to rework documentation. Be patient and supportive during this time. Additionally, be mindful of your speech during this time. Avoid being harsh or sarcastic, whether with your children, your younger siblings, or even with in your career, as this could lead to disputes. For those in creative fields or artistic fields, this period may require you to rethink or refine your ideas to bring out the best in your work. And lastly, pay close attention to your children's health and overall well-being. Leo ascendant. For Leo natives, while this is not an ideal time to purchase property, if it's unavoidable, make sure you handle all the documentation with extra care. Be prepared for potential delays or the need to redo paperwork. In your interactions with family, especially with your mother, avoid using sarcastic or harsh words. Choose your words thoughtfully to prevent creating an atmosphere of frustration or anger at home. Practicing humility in communication can help maintain peace within the household. During this period, you might feel increased frustration or anxiety as your ascendant is in Papkartari Yoga, being hammed by Ketu on one side and Mars on the other side. Engage in meditation and mindful practices to maintain mental balance. Be cautious while traveling and ensure all plans are made well in advance. On a positive side, this transit brings potential financial gains for Leo natives. However, the gains might come with some delays or the need to revisit certain steps to secure them. Virgo ascendant. For Virgo natives, Mercury is currently transiting your third house and it will be going retrograde in the same house. During this period, your intuition and analytical abilities are likely to sharpen, giving you penetrative mind and a strong gut instinct. So use this time to reflect and evolve on a deeper level. If your chart permits and you are planning foreign travel, this period can be favorable. However, be prepared for potential delays or the need to redo documentation. It's also possible that you may have to reschedule travel plans or change dates due to unforeseen circumstances. For those involved in import or export businesses or any businesses connected to foreign dealings, this transit could bring additional challenges such as extra paperwork or adjustments. Stay patient and meticulous with documentation to navigate these hurdles. Avoid unnecessary arguments with neighbors, younger siblings, or co-workers as retrograde Mercury could escalate tensions. And if you are planning to start something new, this phase may require you to rethink, reassess, or even redo certain steps in your initiation process. This can even bring hurdles. So patience and careful planning are key during this time. Libra ascendants. For Libra natives, Mercury will be going retrograde in your second house. This could bring some spiritual activities to your home, such as Havan or Puja rituals. However, there might be obstacles or delays like a change in dates, or you might have to redo this whole ritual again because of one or the other reason. Since Retro-Mercury is your 12th lord transiting your second house, it can increase your expenses. So it's best advisable for you to invest your money in low risk assets in small amounts. Additionally, with Retro-Mercury transiting your second house, be very cautious with your speech, especially within your family. The energies of sarcasm, anger within your family and ego may surface more than usual. So it's important to stay humble and grounded. Think carefully before you speak, and always be considerate and thoughtful in your communication. Scorpio ascendants. For Scorpio natives, Mercury is transiting your first house and will go retrograde in the same house. This transit will give you a highly penetrative mind, especially during the retrograde phase. However, it can also make your tone more sarcastic, harsh, and ego driven, as Sun is also transiting alongside Retro-Mercury. And you may even experience insults or criticism, particularly at your workplace. So try to keep your head cool and do not overreact. Keep your emotions in check, respond with diplomacy, and only address the situation if it's absolutely necessary to maintain your self-respect. Be very cautious with your health, as your 8th lord is going retrograde in your first house, so health should be your priority as of now. Avoid speculative investments, including stock market, as this is not advisable period for such ventures for Scorpio ascendants. And since this is a significant time for Scorpio natives, be extremely mindful of your communication, particularly with co-workers and higher authorities at your workplace. Misunderstandings or conflicts could arise if you are not careful with your words. Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius natives, Mercury is going retrograde in your 12th house. As the 10th lord, Retro-Mercury's transit in the 12th house can indicate career-related travel, but expect some obstacles along the way. And since Mercury is your 10th lord and Ketu transiting your 10th house, and Mercury being retrograde, the frustration and anger in your career will increase even more than before. This is not a good time to make any major decisions impulsively. Take extra care to properly analyze your options and ensure you have a solid backup plan before moving forward. With Retro-Mercury also being the 7th lord, this can bring disputes with your life partner or spouse. Your speech will be crucial during this period, so be very mindful of your words and tone. It's essential to communicate carefully to avoid misunderstandings. On a positive note, this is a great time for spiritual growth. There may be spiritual travel opportunities for many Sagittarius natives. However, if you are in business, this period may require you to work hard and redo certain tasks, and there could be delays and challenges in your work. Be especially careful when communicating with your father, and try to maintain a humble and considerate tone in all your interactions. Capricorn ascendants. For Capricorn natives, Mercury retrograde in your 11th house can make you more argumentative, especially with elder siblings or your father, as Mercury rules your 6th house. During this period, try to avoid unnecessary arguments, as it can lead to misunderstandings or conflicts. However, if you are dealing with long-standing lawsuit, you may receive some positive outcomes or assistance during this retrograde phase, or this period could bring some positive judgment or unexpected wins. And most importantly, do not invest heavily in speculative markets. It is a good time for gains, but you may have to put in extra effort to secure those gains. Also, there are chances of sudden gains from inherited property. Aquarius ascendants. For Aquarius natives, Mercury is transiting your 10th house and will be going retrograde in the same house. Retrograde Mercury, being your 8th lord, can bring sudden fluctuations in your career. Be prepared for these ups and downs. It's crucial to maintain humility and avoid harsh or sarcastic speech, especially in your professional life and with your children. There can be ups and downs relating to your children as well. And if you have been struggling with conceiving, this period might offer positive outcomes. However, be cautious about your health, especially if you are pregnant, as Mercury is your 8th lord and is 6th from your 5th house. So be very cautious with your health if you are pregnant. Additionally, this period could bring insults or criticisms, particularly in your workplace. Be careful with your communication. Avoid being too sarcastic or argumentative. Pisces ascendant. For Pisces natives, Mercury is going retrograde in your 9th house. Keep your tone and behavior positive, humble, and grounded to avoid misunderstandings and conflicts with your parents and with your spouse. In terms of your relationship with your spouse, this time may bring frustration and intensified emotions, so it's important to keep your communication gentle and try to manage any conflicts with patience. For business professionals, since Mercury, your 7th lord, is retrograde and Ketu is transiting your 7th house, this period may bring some hurdles and require a lot of hard work. Be prepared to face challenges, but also understand that perseverance can lead to progress. This is not an ideal time to purchase property, but it's a great period for spirituality. If you are planning any long distance travel, expect some small obstacles along the way. And finally, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us. See you in the next video. Until then, namaste.